Gene.
Good morning. It's Ginny and Tim at DS Tech in the winter wonderland that we live in. It's cold out there. I hope you get to go ice fishing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're going to talk year-end security and cleaning. Year-end winter cleaning and winter security. In other words, let's take care of it.
Yep. Some good old cyber hygiene. Yep.
Yeah. So at the end of this video, I'll tell you where to get your free security assessment, and be sure to drop any questions or comments that you have about your own processes for winter security and winter cleaning. I want to say spring cleaning, right? But It's not spring, it's winter.
Yeah, getting ahead of it a little bit. So winter is kind of a good time, like a year-end review. Usually you could do things like that kind of as you're leading into the new year. So as the year comes to a close, many organizations kind of shift into a winter-like mode. People are taking more time off, projects may slow down, and attention is divided between work and holidays. Unless you're in retail, then it ramps up, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But meanwhile, cyber threats continue to operate at full speed. In many ways, a year-end cybersecurity is like preparing for a winter recreation. Whether you're skiing, snowmobiling, or heading into the ice, preparation matters far more than optimism. You do not want to wait until you're stranded in the cold to realize something was overlooked. So the biggest one is kind of account and access reviews. So it's kind of like clearing the trail. So one of the most important year-end activities is to review user accounts and access. Over the course of the year, employees leave, maybe people got promoted and roles change, contractors rotate out, systems evolve, and each one of these changes can leave behind either you have an old user that's still enabled, maybe there's an active email inbox, say you were just forwarding messages, but they haven't gotten any messages anymore, so maybe you can completely disable it. Maybe there's a lingering VPN, access out there. Valid MFA tokens, all this kind of stuff. So from a security's perspective, these are unmarked trails straight into your environment. So the year-end ideal checkpoint is to disable and archive accounts from former staff, confirm mailbox access and forwarding rules if still required, reviewing privilege and administrative accounts, and removing permissions where it's not done. So that way you're not, accidentally leaving some open trail to your environment. Permission drift is also kind of like that. I kind of mentioned it in the previous one too, where if someone changes roles, say they get hired and they kind of get a different role that requires different levels of access, well, again, temporary permissions may become permanent if you forget to remove them. So having dedicated roles that are, if you're this employee, you should have access to X, Y, and Z, and just kind of reviewing that once in a while, even if it's just once a year, to make sure everyone has the right permissions and roles is useful and it aligns with their job responsibilities.
It's like on a need-to-know basis, right?
Pretty much, exactly. Like, as much as it would be nice if you had access here on the few times that you do need access for this to your report, it'd be quicker rather than having to go to someone, but it's kind of that least privilege. If you're not in there all the time, you can run into someone who has that access to get you the needed reports, and having that separation really, as a security perspective, is very helpful and can eliminate if that regular user's account were ever to be accessed, they're not going to get away with everything, and kind of eliminate that.
Yeah.
Holiday phishing always ramps up this time of year with the phishing attacks, and that's a PH phishing, not just, with your poll there. So you're getting your shipping delays, package notifications, gift confirmations, urgent requests of sales, all this fine stuff. So again, just remind yourself to slow down, check the link. If it seems like it's too good to be true, it probably is, and go directly to the source. So if you get something in your inbox that says 90% off all Amazon for limited time only, well, go to Amazon.com directly, ignore the link in your email, see if there's any sort of sales like that going on, and make sure that it's legitimate that way.
Don't click any links.
Yeah, and on your phone as well. You get your package has been delayed. Click here to see the shipping notification. Again, just kind of go directly to UPS or USPS or FedEx or whatever you're shipping through. Put in your code and check on the official website. Don't actually click any links through your.
Seems like Walgreens is a big one too. Like your prescription is ready and you're like, oh, I don't have a prescription.
Yeah, what prescription?
What is it? No, don't do that.
Exactly.
Call them.
Yes,
call them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to do it.
Yep.
It's also good to have a security awareness training. So that's, instead of just doing like the fish training where you're getting sent fake emails and doing all that kind of stuff, you can actually have a dedicated training session. Depending on your industry, you can keep it very broad. So it's a year-end time to refresh everyone's security. So rather than relying on generic content, you could use the current threat landscape, maybe new threats that have been coming out, like the QR codes are more common now for scanning, where they get you to scan a QR code and it's a bad link because all a QR code is just a link. So you want to be hesitant with that. If you're in a certain industry, maybe you're in healthcare or manufacturing or whatever you're in, having a dedicated security and awareness training that's dedicated for that industry. Like if you're in healthcare, no patient data on USB thumb drives is a basic thing. Things like that. You kind of have a specific tailored training can really help with that and keep everyone aligned. And then for larger organizations that may have frameworks like CMMC, it's the natural time to rerun your required training to ensure staff that are aware of the expectations and maybe any new changes in the compliance framework for the upcoming year. One thing to keep in mind is that although everyone's bustling with the holidays, and busy with that, it's cybersecurity. It's still ramping up. Maybe it's not all over the headlines anymore because there's other news that's happening and other things going on, but it does not go quiet. Typically, attackers actually love the holidays because they know businesses may be shut down for an extended period of time. If they're in accounts, maybe they can do additional things. People are distracted with all the busyness that's going on too. Yep, that's a great one too. So again, ransomware is still active. Business email compromises still remain profitable, and credential theft continues to be a primary entry point, especially with sales and holiday and retail. Right, people are trying to get your accounts more than ever right now. So just stay vigilant and keep doing that. And so if any of the stuff that we've talked through on this episode here, you're curious on, maybe you're doing it a little bit, but you want to take it to the next level, you want to review what we're already doing with you, that's perfectly fine. Reach out. We can definitely do that. Otherwise, if you're a small business and you're looking at leveling up the security and getting your staff trained and kind of keeping in touch with the latest security landscapes, well, reaching out to an MSP, especially like DS Tech, we can easily help you with all of that. Because it's there's so much going on. It's a lot to, I guess, think and keep track of and do all that while you're trying to run your just business, right? You're good at running your business, so you can continue to do that, and then let us handle the security is the best way to do it. So
that's the easiest way. And then we have our free security assessment too that will help you get it on the right track, even if you don't use our services, right?
Yeah, if you're just curious where you stand, reach out.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and give you a little roadmap on things that you need to change or help out with. So drop your questions and your comments. What are you doing to get your business on track and clean up your security? Curious if you have more input than what we put out. So make it a great day. We'll see you next time.